Hi, and welcome to Dear God Why. Today's well, I want to say movie, that might be an overstatement. Today we're watching Down.
I am so up for this.
Down, I'm pretty sure from the blurb, is about a demonically possessed lift.
I love horror movies where the entire horror conceit is based around fear of one mundane household object. And it's a surprisingly big genre. My favourite film is Deathbed, the bed that eats people, which is just an amazing construction because it's a bed and it eats you if you sleep in it, but no one doesn't sleep in it. My expectation for Down is that it's a lift that kills people and no one takes the stairs. We're on the 13th floor, we're going to get to the 12th floor, stat! Why don't we take the lift? Oh, the lift eats people. Why don't we take the stairs? Oh, the stairs have gone.
I bought Lego to help me reflect my emotions, so I'm currently excited to see what happens. This is Benny. There are no spaceships though, so he'll be sad halfway through.
Maybe the twist is there is a spaceship. Maybe it all takes place inside a spaceship. Or maybe a good spaceship comes along and eats up the evil lift. And they all fly away together to a magical, happy bunny land where everyone lives forever and they all have cake.
I am quite eager to try and guess what the twist in this film is going to be, because it can't just be an evil lift. It can't just be.
I hope it's not just that for an hour and a half, however long it is, because that's going to get dull. But who knows, Creep Van was entertaining. I hope they go for the comedy route actually, that'd be fun.
I really hope it isn't like Creep Van, because I had to edit that shit afterwards. I hope it is just like 107 minutes or whatever of a lift killing people, because that would be so much easier to watch.
It can't just be an evil lift. Nah. If not, is it just a lift? It's just a lift.
The elevator did it. How dumb can you get?
It's just a lift.
Current Lego character status update. Slightly ill Princess Unikitty, because this is a disturbing film in many ways.
The weird thing about this film is that the images are flawless. It's very, very well shot. The CGI is okay for the time. It's actually very well put together. The cuts are interesting. There's a certain sense of like artistic merit here. It's cool. The dialogue,
It fits, but it doesn't work.
Hey,
Don't tell me that's what your wife said last night.
No, the editing is very good. It's got a lot of really effective like juxtapositions. They're cutting back and forth between a tense situation and a guy carrying an axe, and a tense situation and all these other things for dramatic effect. It goes a long time before getting even the tiniest bit gory. It's much more suggestive and much cleverer in that way visually than I thought it would be.
It could be an effective horror/thriller thing, because there are some real moments of tension and real moments of sort of good horror beats and everything, but it is really let down by the dialogue and the characters.
It's kind of like if a 2001 A Space Odyssey had been acted out by the characters from Sesame Street.
I think the best tense moment in the entire film was this bit where he's crawling around in the lift and it looks as though his hand's reaching into shot, and then it goes at a bit of a weird angle and you're like, oh shit, someone's behind him, and then he scratches his chin and wanders off like this. It's just such a weird... It's visually effective, but just such a weird choice, again, like so much in this film.
the most amazing cut in the film is there's just been a scene where about 8 pregnant women are all trapped in a lift together, and the stress of the event causes them all to spontaneously give birth at once. It's cool. And they cut from like a baby coming out of a suggested fanny directly to an egg being broken over a grill and sizzling. It's just fantastic. The finest character in the film is a lady who's shown for about 5 minutes. She's the character of a babysitter who runs a babysitting floor in the building.
Quiet! Little bastards. Don't fuck with me. Bunch of losers you are.
You little bastards, you're gonna end up as drug addicts or hookers. I hate y'all. I hate you. I don't know why I opened a nursery. I wish I had not done this and continued to do this. Ah. And she does not die.
Whatever the future is, you little creeps, it is not yours.
I love how every woman in this film is either crazy, a liar, or pregnant. Those are the three states of women in this film.
There is a reporter whose entire character is that she is female.
All her lines of dialogue are just like, no, I'm a woman.
You guys will do anything for a sleazy story.
I'm not a guy.
The women characters are terrible, but then most of the male characters are as well, and they're all really creepy towards the women. The two security guards who perv on people in the first minute of the film.
Oh, boy, this is really something. Well, let me see.
The blind guy who feels up his hairdresser for no reason. The reporter's colleague who sits down in her chair to fix her computer and says, "Ooh, it's still nice and warm."
Looks like a virus.
Oh, shit, not now. Nail the bastard, will you?
Yeah, let me see what I can do. Nice warm suit.
Everyone is terrible in this, apart from our one sort of really sort of down-to-earth hero character who's a bit sad at the beginning of the film, but then he defends the women, so you know he's good. But it's really broad strokes. The characters are just really sort of one-dimensional.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is it's more very simplistic, rather inept writing by a guy.
We're saying that the newspaper boss is very sexist towards this reporter lady. I don't think she's a very good reporter.
What's your name, ma'am? No, you can talk to me. I'm a nurse.
The bit with the newspaper reporter and her boss, it really didn't seem like any thought had been given to the thought that they might have had conversations in the past and know each other and have established roles in the job.
Get your pretty ass over to the Millennium Building.
What happened?
An elevator got stuck, some women got sick, I don't know.
But I'm working on that piece on the struggle for women's voting rights.
When was that?
1918.
Bit after the fact, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's
No
important.
buts.
She later goes undercover, and her cover lasts for all of about 10 seconds.
You're a reporter, aren't you?
Yeah. Jennifer Evans, Morning Post, at your service.
The weirdness comes from that this director believes that he lives in a world where reporters can simultaneously be feature writers, current events writers, copywriters, editors, undercover reporters, field reporters, and their own bosses.
At first, it's not really clear who you're supposed to be rooting for, because it starts off with the guy who turns out to be the sidekick engineer coming up, and he's all like telling the guy who turns out to be the protagonist off for being useless.
Hey, Jeff. Oh.
We all thought he was the protagonist, but then he's a complete dick to people for no reason.
You look like shit. Smell it, too.
And they were like, wait a minute, that guy with the blusher on, who is being less of a dick, maybe he's supposed to be the protagonist. The relationship between the two leads is really annoying.
Relationship.
We're not fucking.
No, but we can if we want to. We have a choice.
Tonight, I'm a little tired, I think.
No. I wasn't inviting you. I was making a point.
Of course you were.
They have all the sexual chemistry and erotic intrigue of a lonely lighthouse keeper and his moist ham sandwich.
They kind of have a bit of chemistry. The one part to their characters is that they do seem to actually loathe each other, and then they end up getting together in the end, and having sex in a lift, which you can see coming, and it's just painful.
Are you sure you want to do this?
You can trust me, I won't let you down.
Also, ex-Marine lift engineers. But for no reason, because what Marine training will help them out to fight a lift?
That's such a weird criticism of the film, saying that it doesn't make sense the character could be a Marine then a lift repairman. Like, the skills don't have to carry over. You can be a baker and then a fireman. Doesn't mean you're putting out the fire with buttercream. He's not fighting the fire with sponge cake. Thumbs down.
My point was more that clearly they bring up the fact that they used to be Marines in order to be like, aha, these are the heroes, they're hard asses.
We're not the Marines anymore, Mark. You don't fight guys because they need to be taught a lesson.
We need to make the engineer repairmen both ex-Marines just for the hell of it.
Why are you guys fighting about ex-Marine mechanics when Ron Perlman is in this movie?
Are you fucking crazy?
Ron fuck-mothering Perlman!
Ron Perlman had the best 3 lines in the entire film directly after each other.
We live in a vertical world. If you can't trust elevators, what the fuck can you trust? Now, I don't need stories like this. And I don't need the cops breathing down my ass inquiring about you.
Ron Perlman, why were you in this film? You have a career.
I want you to end this thing right now. I don't know if I can.
There's a bit where a guy on inline skates who's really cool is racing through the car park, and then he falls over, and then he gets sucked backwards into the lift with all this like white smoke and lightning, and then he gets propelled out of the lift at the top floor, goes out the window and goes rapidly plummeting downwards, which is much the same as the rest of the script.
It was entertainingly weird. It went in strange directions, but I would have liked a bit more sort of resolution to it, I suppose.
Within the second half of the script, they mention all the possible things that could be causing this lift to kill people.
The Millennium Building was built on ancient burial ground. Maybe there was some kind of radiation leakage. I think that elevator's haunted.
He will only find peace when he's had his revenge.
Every major step forward in the history of mankind has not been without its sacrifice.
Elevators like to kill people.
They were making a computer based on dolphin brains or something like that.
You don't mess with the devil himself.
It was not a robot head.
It was everything except aliens.
Not one of those explanations ties up every single plot point. There are unresolved threads all over. It's like trying to find a thread in a needle stack.
It was that more of a late 80s, early 90s movie. They were meddling with things that man was not meant to meddle with, and they made a biological computer out of a human being. Therefore, it automatically comes with supernatural powers attached, and no further explanation is needed, because that's just what happens if you make computers out of living human tissue. Less of an explanation, more of just like the you do realise the kind of movie you're watching moment. The finale is fantastic. There's just this wonderful moment where masses of FBI and police, like armed SWAT guys, go to attack a building. Or possibly just the lift. It's as though they were preparing for someone to raid the building in force. Because that's what they're armed for, but that's not what happened. What happened was the elevator went up and went boing through the roof. Which totally called it the Charlie in the Great Glass elevator moment. That was brilliant. But it's this thing of, if someone carries out a terrorist attack by making one lift go up through the roof of a building, you don't assume that they're going to wait a couple of days and then send in a massive raiding party.
The terrorists attack this building. Let's send in SWAT teams to defend this building with helicopters and Stinger missiles from the terrorists who aren't there anymore.
Look out, Libyans! Oh,
fuck! Oh, jeez.
Relax, I was joking.
It makes no sense. Nothing makes any sense.
You've got like the German scientist who was kicked out of his previous job working on these biochips, so he decided to team up with Ron Perlman, who is the elevator boss, to install these experimental untested chips that make computers have a mind of their own into a lift, because why not?
Could be like a complete new renaissance for the human race.
There was the other elevator co-worker who was, for some reason, like, tortured in this building for days before dying, and then was silenced in some sort of conspiracy, which is sort of brought up, and they go see his wife, who is crazy and has a shrine, and it's all weird. You never find out what exactly happened to him, apart from just vague implications. Except the main guy, goes into the lift elevator shafts for some reason to hunt for clues, and finds strange graffiti on the wall that says Shango. That's it. That's just there for some reason. I reckon there's a lot of deleted scenes or stuff cut from the script in this one, because none of it goes anywhere.
Highly entertaining. I would recommend it a lot more than I thought I would. It's very, very good, batshit silly, bad film.
Shango, Shango, have you always been alone? Shango, Shango, have you